American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. The Department of Justice says it is investigating FACE Act and civil rights violations after a violent mob attack on a church in Minnesota over the weekend. But so far, state and local officials are not only dismissing the incident, they are actually defending the rioters. Here's the Attorney General for the state of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, talking to former CNN host Don Lemon, who was also part of the mob in that church.
The FACE Act, by the way, is designed to protect the rights of people seeking their reproductive rights so that people, for a religious reason, cannot just use religion to break into women's reproductive health centers, right? So how they are stretching either of these laws to apply to people who protested in a church over the behavior or the perceived behavior of a religious leader is beyond me.
Fox's Dana Perino responds to that.
So he's a former congressman, he's a lawyer, he's the attorney general of Minnesota, and he doesn't understand what the FACE Act is. Here, let me read to you. This is from the act itself, that by force or threat of force or by physical obstruction intentionally injures, intimidates, or interferes with or attempts to injure, intimidate, or interfere with any person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship.
Fox News legal consultant Carrie Urbon says the brutal truth is that Keith Ellison is lying.
You can read, you can fact check him and know that it's not true. And I was really disturbed by the fact that he would, what I feel like is lie about the law. He's the attorney general for the state of Minnesota. He is supposed to be neutrally applying and implementing the law. Instead, he went on Don Lemon, who, in my opinion, also acted disgracefully, and goes on his show and then lies about the law. There are people who are listening to that who are going to take his word for it because he's the AG.
And Fox News contributor Mark Thiessen offers this comparison.
So what if a bunch of pro-ICE protesters decided to storm a mosque in Minneapolis, disrupt the worship service, and demand that, like, the Somali community people were worshiping there, we be deported? The Democrats would be screaming bloody murder. They would be charged with hate crimes. They would be charged with violation of the religious rights of the Somalis, and the media would be cheering them on. But because it's a Christian church, and because the media and the Democrats all support illegal migrants, they don't care.
The mainstream media has been very critical of ICE as it tries to carry out its job of arresting and deporting criminal illegal aliens from blue cities like Minneapolis. But Steve Jordahl reports not long ago it was a completely different story.
The tragic shooting death of protester Renee Good has both Minneapolis officials and the mainstream media singing from the same hymnal imprecatory songs condemning ICE and the Trump administration. This is Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. We've stopped the bite before his profanity.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is...
CNN's coverage is no less biased.
Growing protests tonight in Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot a woman there, witnesses say, in the face as she was in her car. She is dead. He killed her.
But social media sleuths have uncovered a CNN report from 2016 during the Obama administration. Reporters went on a ride-along with ICE, and while perhaps no fans of the Bureau, they at least were fair.
They want to come out extra early, like right now, because they want to catch these people before they go to work. That's why it starts so early in the morning. ICE
was carrying out the Obama deportation policy, and agents were seen as doing a difficult job.
We got 3 targets this morning. You know, some of the neighborhoods a little sketchy, so we got to make sure it's not just the target we're looking after, but other people around us.
Joy Vasquez of Media Research Center says the hypocrisy is so obvious.
When Obama was in office, of course they're going to make it look like his immigration policy was just to defend the U.S. borders, but under Trump, they're going to try to make him out to be like some sort of a racist.
I'm Steve Jordahl.
Stocks slumped in morning trading on Wall Street today after President Trump threatened to hit 8 NATO members with new tariffs. More news available online at afn.net and download the AFN mobile app for your Apple or Android device. I'm Rusty Pugh.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Wildmon, president of American Family Association and American Family Radio. Hey, the tours we've got planned in 2026 are going to be fantastic. They're historical, spiritual, heritage tours. For the information all about them, the D.C., the Williamsburg, the Boston tours, go to wildmongroup.com, WILDMON group.com, and we hope to see you on one of our 2026 spiritual heritage tours.
Welcome to Today's Issues, offering a Christian response to the issues of the day. Here's your host, Tim Wildmon, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Today's Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026. And as always, we thank you for listening to AFR. Joining me in studio is Wesley Wildmon. Good morning, Wesley.
Good morning.
Chris Woodward.
Good morning.
And joining me, not in the studio, in Florida, is Ray Pritchard. How you doing, Brother Ray?
Hey, Tim, I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Well, everything's good here. Now, we have been getting, I know you don't care about this in Central Florida, although it's been chilly there, right?
This morning, it was 27 degrees, not wind chill, but 27 degrees. And that's like down below zero up north. That's really, really... let me just say this, Tim, as I've said before, I do not receive this.
You're going full charismatic on us, huh?
Full charismatic. I do not receive this cold weather at all.
You know, that's when iguanas start falling from trees.
That's right. Exactly right. If you're out walking, and I was looking up in the trees today a little bit just to make sure nothing hit me on the head.
Yeah, because that's what happens. The iguanas, they freeze. They don't die necessarily, but they freeze up, and they don't know. They get shocked. Because the cold, they're not,
stiff and start falling. I kind of got my, how you ask for something and then you get it and you go, no, I really don't.
Right.
Well, I actually I got 3 or 4 of these fleece shirts, long sleeve shirts for Christmas. And I looked at them when I got them, and if we remember, for those in the South, it was a 73, 4, 5 degrees, 70
around Christmas,
around 70 degrees around Christmas time. And I got them. I was like, well,
never
be able to wear those.
These.
And I was like, it would be nice to be able to break those out before it gets summertime or springtime here. And that's going to be this week. So,
well, okay. So I will say this: we have been told.
Is this going to be your one complaint about the weather, and then cold weather?
The older you get, I don't know what happens to you. You become a weather watcher, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Of course, that's the reason. And people who don't want to watch the weather anymore do like Ray and Marlene did. They just moved to Florida.
That's right.
Okay. And they say, I don't care. January's, I don't care if it gets to 27 tomorrow. It's back up to 70.
That's right.
So, but I'm looking ahead at the forecast, and this is for much of the South. The people in our friends and brothers and sisters in the upper Midwest and the North, they don't care they don't care about what I'm talking about. They just laugh.
They just don't care.
They just don't care. They just don't care. Although they did have a major pileup in Michigan, I think, yesterday, didn't they? Like 100-car pileup. Did you see this, Ray, on the interstate?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
100-car pileup. I don't know how many people were hurt. Hopefully nobody, but that was very tragic news to read about. But what I'm saying is, in all seriousness, there's a winter storm warning for all the way from Texas all the way over to, I guess, the Carolinas this weekend. And it says on the Saturday for where we live here in Northeast Mississippi, it's saying, here's the exact thing from the Weather Channel, okay? It says, watching a potential winter storm. Expect periods of freezing rain. 100% chance. 27 degrees is the high. So when I read that, and I think that they don't want to tell us how bad it's going to be. That's what when I say watching a potential winter storm, and then they don't give any more details yet, I'm thinking, we can't tell these rednecks how bad this is going to be. They will totally freak out here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And the weather's not even going to happen till Saturday.
Right. I have already seen local news reports and posts on social media about how people are getting bread and milk. Because for those that have yet to visit the South where we live, anytime we hear snow or ice, there's always a run on bread and milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eggs too. So. I guess they think if you
Oreos, if
you're going to go down in a freeze, you at least need to have cold cereal. That's I think that's the motto. But anyway, I'll just say this: we don't know. Monday we may not be at the office, and we're having to make contingency plans. Right. It's going to be that bad. This is a swath. Looks like to me, listen, I love snow personally. It's beautiful. And we rarely get it. So if you live where you rarely get snow and it's so pretty to see, we don't mind that. But you're talking freezing rain. I've seen those storms before.
Yeah.
And that's when the pine trees start snapping, and it sounds like a war zone. You ever been around that, Ray?
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
And power lines start falling down everywhere. Right. And trees are in the road. I mean, it's a complete and total disaster.
Well,
if you get freezing rain for a few hours, it can be, and then you can't drive, you can't go anywhere, and the power goes out. It's bad.
What did you guys do in 1994 when we had the epic? People still talk about it, ice storm.
Where we live.
Oh, were you guys on the air? I wasn't here in 94.
We were on the air. Yeah, we were on the air. I can't remember exactly. Now, we do have generator backup for our network. So if the power goes out here in Tupelo where we are, we do have we're ready for it in terms of our AFR signal.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, as far as our staff goes, the people are going to be trapped at home.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens there. And now also you got, from Texas all the way to the Carolinas, you're talking about in Kentucky, and you're talking about a lot of people who aren't used to those kind of conditions where you can, you don't have plows, for example, to get out on the roads and clear them or anything like that. But if you get a couple inches of ice, that's just a big mess, and it's dangerous. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad. But
that's what it's looking like.
When they say 100% chance and you got precipitation, they say freezing rain
up to 3 inches. As of now, that's what it's.
I just say 3 inches of freezing rain.
Nobody's moving. Nobody.
Well, you could just say goodbye to the South. I mean,
it's over.
We'll maybe be back in May. Who knows?
That's right. See you in May.
See you in May. But it's going to be bad.
Well, look. It's Tuesday, friends, and if you're between Texas and the Carolinas, and that's a big swath of the country, right?
It is.
I'd make that Walmart run today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't wait till Thursday. Don't wait till Friday. Bread and milk going to be gone by then.
And the bizarre thing about this, so we have this potential storm coming in, and it looks like we're going to have it. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm still saying potential because we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So we have this forecast.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And then the weird thing is, just because of how weather is in the South, we will have a day or two before Valentine's Day where it's like shorts weather.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's whiplash. But you look at this swath I'm talking about here, you're talking about extending from like West Texas all the way over to, as I say, up into the Carolinas and Virginia. It appears like that's coming for that's coming this weekend. Damaging ice, heavy snow.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this weather called Weather Underground, and if you look around 8 o'clock on Friday night, as of now,
where we live
here in Tupelo, Mississippi, Northeast Mississippi, from about 8 o'clock Friday night till about 10 o'clock Sunday morning, it's wall to wall.
Okay, some kind of
that's right.
Precipitation. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so needless to say, folks need to put their the wraps on their pipes, especially for your last thing you need during a winter storm is your pipes to burst. So, and also take care. I know people know this already, but look after the elderly and the shut-ins, and people who need to be prepared to take care of their pets. There's a lot of things to consider if you think you may be without power and you can't go anywhere for like 3 days. That kind of thing is what I'm saying. Campbell's soup.
Like I said, I mentioned
There you
Oreos.
go.
You just looked right over that.
Campbell's soup and Oreos.
I will say
that's our plan.
You can
right
survive.
there.
A country boy can survive.
That's
I looked it up. It's on the internet. Okay, so you know it's true.
What's on the internet?
There is a gram of protein in every 2 Oreos. So if you eat like 34 Oreos, you've gotten 17 grams
So it's a survivalist food?
Yes.
It's a survival food. That's
Do
right.
it for the protein.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, I think Campbell's soup's probably a little more nutritious.
Got a lot. You need that sodium in your life.
I don't believe any of the nutritional stuff, but go ahead.
Don't? You think that's like
all just made
phony?
up. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot of depressing news to talk about today, and we're going to get to that in just a moment.
Yes.
But before we do, let me just throw out a congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers.
Mm-hmm.
They won the college football national championship last night in Miami.
Sure did.
There was no freezing rain in Miami, and completed a historic 16-0 or 16-0 season. It's never been done before because they've never played that many games before. 16-0 regular season. Did you watch the game?
Watched every second of it, and hey, props to Miami.
Yeah.
I actually thought that Indiana would win by 5 touchdowns because that's what they did to Oregon, right? And
Alabama
that's what
too.
they did in Alabama.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be
blowout.
A blowout, and it was not. So props to Miami for hanging in there. And I gotta say, Tim, the play of the game, the play of the year was that, I don't know, third down call near the goal line.
Fourth
in the
down.
Fourth quarter. Fourth down. Okay,
Fourth
fourth
and
down.
5.
They gave the ball to Mendoza, and he makes that. He's not a natural runner, right? I mean, he's not a running quarterback. And he got it into the end zone, that spin move at the end. That was an incredible call.
It was like something out of a movie. It's 4th down and 5. You got the play
We
call?
do have the audio. Yeah, Steve cut this for us. It is clip 8.
To the 8. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and goal. Diving toward the end zone. Touchdown!
Well, that's when I knew God wanted Indiana to win.
Yes.
When you watch that play, because you talk about pulling back your Superman cape, Fernando Mendoza, who is a Christian young man, and he's quick to give glory to God. He doesn't say God causes me to win, but he just says glory to God. So it's congratulations to Indiana and whoever thought Indiana Hoosiers would ever win a national championship.
That's where I was going here. I shared this on our Facebook page. There's a quote from Coach Signetti, the Indiana coach. He said, quote, "We won the national championship at Indiana University. It can be done." People that don't realize this, he took over a program there with a nation-leading 713 losses and turned it into the game's biggest winner in the span of 2 years. Tim, I got to tell you, if you graduated from a baseball school that competes in other sports like I did, Indiana's win gives you hope in football.
Football, yeah. Yeah, they really did. What a storybook. There'll be books and movies about this team, the Indiana Hoosiers. Not in basketball.
Yeah.
But in football.
It's an interesting. Vanderbilt was good at football this year again.
There.
I mean, so it's not what it used to be.
That's right. All right. Well, to not see Ohio State, Alabama, or Georgia in the national championship game is shocking. Quite frankly. All right. You're listening to today's issues on the American Family Radio Network. Tim, Wesley, Chris, and Ray. All right, Chris, what's leading the news?
Well, it's hard to believe it, but President Donald Trump has been back in office now for 1 whole year.
Was it 1 year since the inauguration?
Yes, he re-entered office 1 year ago on this day.
We went up for the inauguration. A lot of folks here. We went up for the presidential inauguration a year ago, and it was so bitterly cold that they canceled it.
Yep.
Well, they canceled the outside ceremony and they moved it into the U.S. Capitol. So
Of course, the limited seating and us being able to be there, but we were there for the watch party.
Yeah, we watched it on TV, like a lot of Americans. But anyway, I didn't realize. So today is the day, the anniversary day. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, there
feels like 3 years though.
No.
Right. So people are on television today talking about, Donald Trump being back in. It's been a year now. One of the people that was on Fox this morning is a lady named Elizabeth Pipko. She's the founder of an organization called Lest People Forget, and she is a former GOP national spokeswoman. She says in a bureaucracy where nothing ever seems to get done, President Trump did get a lot done, and very quickly. Clip 3.
He definitely did, and I think you said it best, right? It's not just that he's the most consequential president of our lifetimes. It's the fact that even Democrats will admit to that, right? I would argue that he's the best president of our lifetimes, but even Democrats have to admit he has done more than any president before him, and he's done more of what he promised, which we never see when it comes to elected officials. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You mentioned securing the border. That's after tens of millions, of course, mostly unvetted, were allowed into our country, causing damage probably for many years to come. Think about the tariff and the trade reform, signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill. Think about the Middle East ceasefire and all those, global peace efforts that he started in the first administration and got to continue on in this one, reshaping our national security. Truly, the list goes on and on and on. And this is why he was elected, because people knew he was actually going to do what he said he was going to do on that campaign trail.
Well, we remember following the inauguration, the day of the inauguration, we were all sitting around, some of us even missing some of the actual inauguration because we were getting all of the executive orders that were being released. And you could tell right away that they were far more organized this time around. They mean in the Trump administration, they were more organized, more prepared, and just far more active this go around than they were his first term. And you can see the consequence. That is a good point. What was her name?
Elizabeth Pipko.
She made a good point that regardless of where you fall on the political side, as far as doing actions of things that you said you were going to do, President Trump and his administration has done more of what they said they were going to do than previous presidents, whether you agree or disagree. Basically, he's not just sitting around or just checking boxes. He's proactive in a lot of ways. If you look at what he's...
Donald Trump's never sat around since he was 2 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't sit around.
He doesn't sit around, and they're far more proactive this time around. Just taking one of the high points, just one, to be as an example, what he's done in deporting illegal immigrants and specifically illegal immigrants who are criminals, who have a criminal record in the United States. What he's done on that front alone is right at a year now, and what he's capable of doing in the next 3 years is, again, very remarkable, regardless of whether you disagree with what he's doing. He's doing something.
Yeah. Ray, your thoughts on 1 year of Donald Trump's
It has been a remarkable year. And Wesley, to your point, if you compare the first year of the first term to the first year of this second term, it's night and day. Mm-hmm. In the first year, they didn't know what they were doing exactly. He didn't have the right team in place. He didn't have the right. He couldn't get things done the first time around. They came in laser focused. And as you said, that blizzard of executive orders that came out on the first day, and in a sense, it reminds me of, I know of a fellow who became president of a college, and he'd never done it before, and he asked for some advice, and a wise person said, well, here's my advice. On your very first day, start running as fast as you possibly can, and then gradually pick up the pace. That's sort of what President Trump has done here in this second term. They came out guns blazing, so to speak. They came out running fast, and they have picked up the pace during these last 12 months. And I think the howls that you can hear coming from the far extreme liberal left who thought that President Trump might just sail or sleep through, but that was Joe Biden. Mr. Trump came out, and he has made things happen. Do we always agree? No, we certainly don't always agree, but he has proved to be very consequential in this first year. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Yeah. I got to tell you, from like a news perspective, with all the things that we've talked about, all the things that we've brought into this show, it feels like he's been in office 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot. With President Trump, there's always a lot going on. So you're listening to today's issues on American Family Radio. Tim, Chris, Wesley, and Ray. And now, President Trump is he was at the national championship game last night.
Sure was.
In Miami, and now he's headed to Europe. Is that right?
Yeah, he's going to Davos, where he's going to talk about a number of things, from U.S. economic policies, his plan to make housing more affordable, and the speech everybody is watching for, President Trump's continued push to acquire Greenland. President Trump says we got to have it for national security purposes. We're going to get it. And so everybody's kind of watching that speech there to figure out what he's going to say to Davos, which is tomorrow.
This is at once comical and extremely serious.
Yes.
Okay. This could ruin Trump's presidency, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Okay. So people may disagree, and that's fine. We're not talking about the Bible here. Talking about politics, but if President Trump continues, today he released a meme.
I'll post it for you.
Okay, and the meme had him and I guess Vice President Vance and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, sticking a U.S. flag in the ground in Greenland. And what did it say, Chris?
Oh, let me dig it up. Carry on.
I thought you had it and were posting it.
Oh, I'm in the process of digging. I'm sharing it.
Anyway,
with
I
my
forgot.
phone.
Do you know what it says, Ray? I sent it around.
No. Does it say 51st state or something like that?
No, I got it right here. It says Greenland, U.S. territory, established 2026.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
By comical and extremely serious, it's what the reaction I just got from you, Ray.
Yeah.
You're laughing,
right?
And people laugh when they see this, but this is but President Trump's not kidding, okay? Evidently, unless he's playing the world here, and
he might be.
But he posted a meme. It's got him with a U.S. flag, Vance and Rubio, and it says it's like when we landed on the moon, and the astronaut got out and put the U.S. flag in the ground. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So Wesley, let me ask you this: do you understand what I'm saying about this could potentially ruin his presidency, or you don't see that?
No, I think it could if it plays out the way that you've mentioned it could at times. I think the worst possible case scenario, I think it could, which would be boots on the ground, an invasion, and you're taking over, and you're seizing boats and all the fishing boats, and the way that you've tongue in cheek said it. However, I don't think any of that's going to take place. Trolling them, does it look good? This is Trump. He's been doing it. No, I mean, probably not. I think it's funny, but then again, I don't think it's a good call for the president. For me, the bottom line is I like to see things like this play out, because we got 5 years of President Trump, doing this type of stuff, and ultimately we end up happy with everything he ends up doing when it's all said and done, even if we don't like the middle. For example, Iran being bombed, great, nuclear. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm more of a wait and see with Donald Trump at this point, as opposed to trying to defend him. So.
All right, we'll be back momentarily. I got my thoughts on this. I'm through America Waits for
we want to hear that.
Yes, well, that's why I'm here, and I will. I'll be glad to share my heart.
Yeah, you can do that.
Ed's not here today to ask me to share my heart.
Yeah, would you share your heart?
I'm going to share my heart.
Okay.
We
want to know your feelings.
I have feelings. Be back in a minute.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildmon.
Paul has some words for us in 2 Corinthians. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sake he became poor, so that by his poverty you might become rich. You know, I'm a rich man. Some people I know will deny that. They look at my salary, my bank account, what possessions I have. They by no means consider me a rich man. They wouldn't even go so far as say that I was in the middle bracket, much less in the upper bracket. But like I said, I'm a rich man. I'm a rich man. I'm rich because of my heritage. I came from a home where parents loved me, provided for my needs to the best of their ability, sacrificed things they very much needed so that I could have advantages they never had. I'm a rich man. I have a wife who loves me. She puts up with all my faults, stands beside me, pulls for me when the going is rough. No, she's no Hollywood star. But most of the stars in Hollywood cannot hold a light to her when it comes to real beauty. Yes, I'm a rich man. I have 4 wonderful children. I have 5 grandchildren. Children and grandchildren who give hope and promise of a better tomorrow. I love them, want the best for them, and try to bring them up in a Christian environment like my parents did before me. I'm a rich man. I have a job, a very meaningful job. Not much money in it, nor prestige, but it gives me a chance to help my fellow man, to lift the sights of others to a higher level, give my life to a cause that will leave the world a better place in which to live. I'll probably never reach the top of my profession, but I can face life knowing I did my best in the job which I felt my Creator wanted me to do. I have a job which I consider important because He considers it important. And again, I'm a rich man. I want to say it one more time. I'm a rich man. I live in a free country. Millions and millions of people cannot know the richness of that. They live under the shadow of a dictator. Millions more here in the country where I live have never realized that freedom is an obligation, not a license. Thus they are poor. Poor because they have not learned that freedom is not a license to drag men down into the depths of filth, but that freedom is an obligation to lift myself and my fellow man to greater and greater heights, pressing on toward that high mark to which our Maker calls us. Again, I'll say it, I'm a rich man. I have friends who are friends. They stay with me through the good times and the bad. They encourage me. They cause me to try harder. They keep me from giving up. When the clouds of darkness are around me, these friends of mine are beside me. They're true friends. The doors to their homes are open to me as mine is to them. I'm a rich man. I've found what many still are searching for. I've found forgiveness and understanding and help. I found them in a crucified Galilean. He takes my weaknesses and makes me strong. He takes my fears and makes me brave. He takes my doubts and makes me believe. He assures me of what every person wants to know, that there will be life after death for me. Like I said, I'm a rich man. Oh, by the way, can I borrow a dime?
This has been My Turn with Don Wildmon, a production of the American Family Association.
On Exploring Missions, you'll hear missionaries like Colin McDougall of Africa Inland Missions.
Yesu ndimi njia na ukweli na uzima. Yohana 14:6.
What did he say?
Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. John 14:6.
Colin learned a new language to minister to the people of Africa.
That's right. We're mostly working on the east and also in the north of Africa.
Saturday afternoons at 2:30 Central on American Family Radio.
Jim from Louisville, Kentucky, and I like Preborn because of their mission statement, saving babies and saving souls. Thank you.
This is Today's Issues. Email your comments to comments@afr.net. Past broadcasts of Today's Issues are available for listening and viewing in the archive at afr.net. Now, back to more of Today's Issues.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Tim, Wesley, Chris, and Ray. And now we're joined. Jenna Ellis joins us. Jenna is on AFR, as you know, if you listen regularly. each morning from 7 to 8 o'clock Central Time with the Jenna Ellis in the Morning program, which brings you up to speed with whatever has happened the last 24 hours and current events. And Jenna also analyzes a lot of issues from a biblical worldview perspective and writes for us, too, as well. Good morning, Jenna.
Good morning. Yeah, and we've been covering a lot this week. There's always something going on in the headlines that we need to analyze from a biblical worldview.
And that's good from a talk show perspective, right?
It is, actually, yeah.
You need something to talk about, right?
Well, I can always talk about something, even if the news was boring. And my mom could tell you, and my best friend here, Hannah, could tell you, we spend a lot of time just talking about a lot of things. But, there are a lot of what we would call evergreen topics in theology, culture, biblical worldview that, we'll always fill an hour. For sure. Well,
that's. I'm going to wrap up this conversation. You may or may not want to weigh in, although with what you just described, I'm sure you will weigh in on the topic. That is, President Trump is headed to
Davos.
Well, he's probably going to stop in Greenland and take it.
That's right. I thought you did that on purpose.
I
took it myself.
I didn't. That was a slip, and I don't know if it's Freudian or not, but it was a slip of some kind. I said, Jenna, in all seriousness, President Trump trolls, and he
gets you worked up a little bit.
Troller in chief. Well, a lot of times it's funny. I mean, we all, people laugh at his antics and the things that he says and does because that's just kind of who he is. And but you never quite know whether to take him seriously or not on a lot of issues. And in this case, I said. And I'm serious about this, okay? He threatens his own administration, and he may not, again, I don't know who talks to President Trump and he listens to him. Maybe Susie Wiles or maybe Rubio and Vance. I don't know exactly. But Jenna, this idea of militarily taking over Greenland is a terrible, terrible idea and will ruin his presidency if he does it.
I agree. And, I posted on social media that I think that Trump needs to just offer to trade Minnesota for Greenland. That would actually solve all of our problems.
I agree.
Now, the people,
problem solved.
Our listeners living out in the hinterland there, and we have a lot of them. Maybe they don't want to be lumped in with the
I think
Minneapolis-St. Paul, but that was very funny. You did troll yourself right there. Go ahead.
I did, actually.
What are you going to say, Wesley?
Well, I was just going to add, I've been around our listeners and supporters all across the country, some that live in far, far deep blue states, and they would agree with this.
Like when you talk to our friends who listen to us in Illinois, what do they say?
The first thing they say, they don't introduce themselves. They don't say, we've been listening to y'all for 20. The first thing they say is, hey, I just want to let you know we have nothing to do with Chicago. We have absolutely nothing to do. That's their introduction. And then we get into...
We live in the real Illinois.
That's right.
The real land of Lincoln.
Yeah. So.
But that is true, right? But anyway, in all seriousness, I don't know what President Trump is going to say today. Is his speech tomorrow?
It is tomorrow, yes.
And where is this mythical Davos place? Is this like... I say mythical. I mean, this is a place where the world leaders go, economic leaders they meet once a year. And is this Switzerland, Austria? Where is this?
It's in the eastern Alps of Switzerland. It's where the hills are alive with the sound of music.
That's actually Austria, Chris, but
same part of the world. You made a good point.
But I understand what you're saying. He's going to go. President Trump's going to go speak over there, but I just. That you know what, that is going to be very important speech, Jenna, because he's already said he's going to slap Europe with tariffs if any NATO member disagrees with the U.S. Conquering Greenland. So I don't know where you're going to go with this because Europe, by the way, I've read this. I'm no economic expert, but if Europe were to combine their efforts to slap back at Trump's tariffs on them, which I believe this is a terrible misuse of tariffs, by the way. This is not a national emergency. And I don't know when the Supreme Court is ever going to rule. They're supposed to have ruled on tariffs.
They didn't rule today, so that's not going to happen today.
Okay, I do believe the tariffs are constitutional.
Right.
I'm not, but you're supposed
They
to.
may prevent him from instituting more.
But it kind of scares me, too, that one man can just wield that much economic power to slap tariffs on countries around the world at his whim. Well, do we really want that? I mean,
yeah, I don't think that was what the founders anticipated and why they separated
on the issue of tariffs you're talking about.
Yes, on the issue of tariffs, and why a lot of this is statutorily, supposed to be left up to a deliberative body that represents all of the United States, and that it isn't just one president and one whim. I mean, obviously you need a chief executive so that you can respond to certain things in national interests on a dime, but not necessarily something like this. And and just optics wise, this push for Greenland seems to be sort of this odd pet project that there may be some people that are, for some of these incentives and, some of these reasons. But when you have genuinely what's going on right now in Minneapolis, and you have what just happened with the church being invaded by protesters in St. Paul on Sunday, and you have the DOJ literally just going, well, Don Lemon, who was part of this terrorist group, by the way, under the auspices of being a journalist, when, the DOJ is just saying, well, he's been put on notice and there's an investigation. And it's like, okay, well, when are you actually going to do something instead of having your deputy AG going on media and just talking about it and these sort of outraged letters? It's like, why is Trump focusing on Greenland when we have so many problems on the home front? I mean, I just think from an optics perspective, that's a really bad call right now.
Yeah, I just hope he backs off this Greenland thing and and talk to, if you want to talk to Denmark and Greenland about, negotiating some kind of agreement where we can have more presence there or do more business there, whatever, but do it in a friendly, diplomatic way. Not we're sending the 82nd Airborne to take over the fishing villages there in Greenland. It's just it's ridiculous in my opinion, but that's just my view. All right, back to this point about talking to Jenna Ellis. What happened in Minneapolis last week? You've talked about that extensively on your program. Who are these people that went into this church? It was a Southern Baptist church there, right? I think it was.
Yeah, SBC affiliated, okay. According to reports.
Who were how many and who were these protesters that stormed into the worship service?
Well, I mean, it looks like at least a couple of dozen based on the videos. And our friend Meg Basham, who writes for Daily Wire, actually had an article saying, and the title of it is "A Career Activist Who Disrupted the Minneapolis Worship Service Also Targeted Pete Hegseth's D.C. Church." So, these are people who are basically professional agitators. And so this wasn't just, some small thing. And you have to wonder, okay, if this is somebody who is a career activist who has a history of this, how did Don Lemon know about it, and why was he there getting all of this content? And and pushing the pastor of this to say, why are you involved with ICE? I mean, there were so many different questions here, but this looks like it was basically a professional hit job. And so I'd encourage people to go and read that article in Daily Wire. It's titled "Career Activists Who Disrupted Minneapolis Worship Service Also Targeted Hegseth's D.C. Church."
Okay. Well, I know that it was mentioned that the United States Justice Department could use the FACE Act, which the lefties passed many years ago in response to Operation Rescue, I think, or, to the pro-lifers who were showing up in front of abortion clinics. But they were, they were using the FACE Act, but it also included houses of worship. So a law meant to harm pro-life efforts could be flipped to prosecute these people you just mentioned who went in disrupting the church service.
It could, and my caution and what I've said on my socials as well as my show is that we need to be really careful advocating for a law only when it appears to serve our interests and preferred outcomes, because for a long time, conservatives, AFA included, have been pushing Congress to repeal the FACE Act because of how it has targeted pro-life Christians, grandmothers, so many instances of its abuse that now even if it is done in a way that, we agree that this should be illegal. There are a lot of other statutes. Hermit Dillon, the deputy AG that went on a lot of this media, was actually referring to the Ku Klux Klan Act that Don Lemon could be charged under, and some of these other agitators. And there are also just, our simple state and federal statutes for obstruction, for trespass, for a lot of these other things that we don't even have to necessarily reach the FACE Act. And my caution would be conservatives still need to want to advocate to repeal that because of how it's been abused. If we keep it on the books and a leftist Democrat gets back in office, I guarantee you it's going to be weaponized against conservative Christians again. So I am not for the FACE Act. If they want to, it's valid law right now, so if they want to charge them under it, maybe that's an idea. But we really need to be concerned about that.
You gonna say, Wesley?
Yeah. So I thought, kind of playing devil's advocate here.
On Christian radio?
Yeah, on Christian radio.
Okay, you need to change that word. Playing something else.
You're making me lose my thought here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got about a half a thought now. I had a full thought. So you were saying there about the FACE Act, and I understand from a legal standpoint your caution, but that has been in place. It has been weaponized, and it will be weaponized either way. So what would keep us from weaponizing it against the other team when it's going to be weaponized whoever's in charge?
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. In terms of how, laws need to be framed in a way that doesn't allow for weaponization. And obviously the left and the Democrats are going to try to do that, and we saw that prolifically through the Biden administration. But we need to just be really careful, as I said, for how we advocate and kind of turn on a dime when it seems to fit our preferred purpose.
Understood.
All right, Jenna, what's coming up on your podcast this week, and what's coming up on your show tomorrow?
Yeah, so on our podcast, we're going to do probably more of a dive on Minneapolis and, some of these things that are going on, because it seems like there's a lot of misconception right now on a separation of church and state. And somehow, isn't it ironic how now when the left wants to pretend, that churches shouldn't get involved, now they're suggesting that these are locations where they can go and do political activism. And so why is it good for the left, but they're being hypocritical on the right? So looking at some of those things for this week, and we are going to also look at having a few people from the great state of Florida on, because our governor's race is really heating up now that the new year has turned. We also want to focus on, where Republicans sit for the midterm. So a lot coming up this week.
Okay. All right, Jenna, take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. That's Jenna Ellis joining us. If you want to get Jenna's weekly podcast, in addition to listening to her each morning here on American Family Radio, which you need to be doing, she's on from 7 to 8 o'clock. She has great analysis and also a lot of great guests here on her show, 7 to 8 o'clock Central Time each weekday morning here on AFR. And you can go to, Wesley, if folks want to get Jenna's weekly podcast and download that, how can they do that?
We strongly encourage you to go to AFR.net, AFR.net. There you will be able to have all of our podcasts by clicking on podcast and go to On Demand with Jenna Ellis. It's a little tab there. That's the easiest, AFR.net. Also, too, I do want to take just a minute or less to say that our IT department and our graphic department, our staff here at AFR, did a really, really, really good job at our AFR.net of walking you through in 2 clicks how to download our app on any smart device. And so by going to AFR.net, scrolling all the way down, it says apps. You click on it, and it is 2 clicks, and you can download our AFR app on any smartphone or any smart device, including a Roku and Alexa. Obviously, your iPhones and tablets and things like that, Android, is all there. It's 2 clicks, so AFR.net. You can watch at stream.afa.net, but you won't be able to get heard. daily or her weekly podcast.
Okay, Chris, next story.
Well, somebody mentioned the word irony a minute ago, and there was an interesting situation yesterday in the Minneapolis area where a group of software engineers were showered with insults and accused of being pedophiles after they were mistakenly accused of being ICE agents while trying to eat lunch in Minneapolis. The men were all white males.
I hate it when that happens.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's going to happen somewhere else.
We want to
I
hear your
guarantee it.
story here in a little bit, Dad.
Now, the man, I have audio here, but it's got beeps. I'm not going to play it. The men were all white males and dressed casually in sweatshirts and jackets, and they were eating lunch at a deli when somebody got a message saying, "Hey, there's ICE agents at a deli," and a swarm of people show up to shower them with insults.
Do we have please tell me we got audio.
We do have audio.
Okay.
It's got beeps.
I forgot. That's the one. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you played that at our show prep meeting.
And it was all beeps.
It was all bleep, 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 bleep.
Right.
So we couldn't play it. It's all profanity.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's got a lot of
beeps. The point is, how many of them were there?
Oh, it says a group.
No, I'm talking about the poor engineers.
We're just getting their hamburger.
How many people showed up, or how many engineers?
No.
How many engineers?
How many engineers does it take?
I should know this because I went to an engineering
You just
school.
mentioned the story.
Yes.
And you said, and I've forgotten, how many of them went to lunch?
It says a group. So
Okay.
there's more than two.
So a group of engineers went to lunch in Minneapolis. And where did they go for lunch, Chris?
Clancy's Deli.
No kidding.
Yes.
Huh?
Rotel,
I've never been
ham
there.
and cheese.
And I've heard about it.
Hadn't either.
So they're in downtown Minneapolis.
Yes.
They go to Clancy's Deli, minding their own business.
Correct.
Right? They get a sub, right? Am I right?
Maybe soup.
Maybe
something
or a meat,
light.
they got a meatball
Soup and
sandwich or
sub.
something. And they just want to have lunch because they have the excitement of having an engineer's job in
Yes.
downtown Minneapolis in January is so much that they probably need a lot of energy. So the ICE protesters, and they're not all geniuses, let's just put it that way. But they text each other in their group message and say, "Hey, we've found 2 ICE agents having lunch down here. Let's swarm
Rally
them.
the troops."
Let's swarm them and
So you get 12.
disrupt their lunch because there's no churches having services today."
Right.
Is that what happened?
Correct.
That's exactly what happened.
So
Yeah.
we need to go to the deli. So they went to the deli only to find out that it was a case of mistaken identity. So these
Friendly
these
fire
poor
in
little
some cases.
engineers are being harassed, thinking they've been misidentified as ICE agents.
Correct.
Is that what happened?
And you disrupted not only their life, but the business owner that's probably
Sure
a
did.
Democrat and doesn't agree with the Trump administration. You messed that person's business day up
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, that's really disappointing.
I like how you
that kind of behavior.
misidentified.
Huh?
There've been a lot of misidentifying in the last 10 years.
What do you say to the engineers if you're the ICE protesters and you realize?
Because they're very apologetic.
You're
group of people.
They probably are. They're very, very compassionate. Do you say you just say my bad?
Yeah.
Huh? Like a bad pass in basketball? My bad. We'll move on out. Sorry, guys.
Okay,
You think that they did that?
So in the
they paid for
clips
their lunch?
in the clips that I've seen
Okay.
of the ICE protesters are
Going against the engineers simply having a lunch.
Well, I'm just talking about over the last couple of
their
week
behavior?
or two. Just looking at, generally speaking, their behavior. They're the ones that I've seen would say, "No, you are an ICE agent."
No, we don't care. We're going to make you an ICE
That's
agent.
what they all say.
Because we need something to do.
That's right.
And we'd rather be inside protesting while you're having lunch. So we're going to call you an ICE agent.
That's
right.
what
That's
gets
what.
me.
Yeah.
What do people in Minneapolis do for a living if you can just show up and protest something every day? I mean, literally from the television footage on even channels like
You know what I
Now.
think? Yeah, you know what I think? I think that you have, I don't know this for a fact, so this is my opinion. 2 things. One is you have rent-a protesters.
You do.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have money on the far left. George Soros take money, and they rent out. You can rent out protesters. So you need 20. Say I need 20. Well, you got to pay them. You got to pay them $500. They're going to be out in the cold today. Well, call them up, tell them to show up.
Yeah.
So you got those people. Then I don't think the protesters are as big a crowds as maybe they
When they come from different states.
They come from different states.
Even if they're not paid, they're there for the movement and the agenda.
Yeah, Yeah, and also, I mean, in a place like Minneapolis, St. Paul, you do have a lot of lefties because that's a left-wing place.
It's the reason they're a blue state.
Yeah, So anyway, that's the situation there. I just feel sorry for those engineers who just wanted their soup and sandwich. They were taking a break.
We're going to bring them up on charges of Freedom of Access to Deli Entrances Act.
But that's my answer. The protesters I've seen that are causing trouble, they would say, I don't care, you are one.
Right,
and they just keep
right.
going.
I know,
They would double down. I
Right.
couldn't see any of the protesters I've seen go, my bad.
We're so sorry.
We got
sir.
this one wrong.
Let us pay for your lunch.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that?
No.
Okay.
Not going to see that.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Next
All right.
story.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Ray has not chimed in here.
Yeah.
Please do.
Go ahead, Ray.
Said anything
Are you going to a deli?
Look, it seems to me the least you could do if you misidentify engineers for ICE agents, you ought to pay for their lunch, right? Hey,
That's why
sorry,
I'm thinking
guys.
that's the least you can do.
You know, let me get you some soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, something. Well, ice
yeah.
cream not so popular right now in Minneapolis.
Well, okay, all right.
It's 0 degrees.
Yeah. Let me pay
hot
for
cocoa.
another sandwich. Your hot cocoa.
Yeah,
I
hot
like that
cocoa,
better. Yeah.
All right, Chris, what's the next story?
Well, all right. So we've got a first for House Speaker Mike Johnson. The congressman from Louisiana is the first speaker to address the British Parliament. So I've got some audio here of Speaker Johnson talking to our friends across the pond, so to speak. Clip 1.
Ronald Reagan said freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on. And just like all things, great civilizations don't defy the laws of gravity. They rise and fall with the individual actions of each individual generation. So today, my friends, we have great reason for hope. Today, I see the UK with renewed sovereignty and self-determination. I see our European allies with an advantage over our adversaries in economic power, and most importantly, in spirit. I see younger generations rejecting the indulgence of self-interest and embracing pursuits of greater importance and higher purpose.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If Mike Johnson doesn't make it in politics, he's got a voice for radio.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he makes me sound like a 13-year-old boy.
That's golden
listen to him
voice.
He's got that voice. Got some deep modulation in there.
When I grow up, I want to talk like him on the radio.
No, that was. I can listen to him talk. Man. He's probably outstanding at reading, to his children and grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? They probably listen. But anyway, in all seriousness, I'm glad he got to go over and address the Parliament there in Great Britain on behalf of the United States.
It was a little more polished than other people speaking to
not to say names.
People. Yeah.
Like what?
Well, President Trump, listen, President Trump ran for president, probably got elected 3 times, okay? So he doesn't care what I think about his speaking style. But there's a difference between the delivery and the tone between a Johnson and a President Trump.
Yeah, but you're not making a judgment.
Never.
Or are you, Chris?
Never.
Okay.
Observation.
Just make an observation.
Observation.
But I just want to know. I wanted any emails and calls
to be directed.
Go to Chris.
Not
Well,
to go to us.
To President
We've
Trump's
nothing
credit,
to do with
though.
that statement.
To President Trump's credit, though, a lot of people that speak the way Speaker Johnson delivers his messages, they never got anything done. Whereas President Trump clearly, as we began the show, got a lot of stuff done in the first year. And
getting yourself out of that hole, are you, Chris?
Still true.
Yeah, my generation's okay with
back up. Well, your generation's okay with what, Wes?
his demeanor and the way he conducts himself, because we grew up on the George Bushes and those that did everything right in front of the
act
camera.
like normal human beings?
Yeah, they act like normal human beings in front of the camera. They didn't care when they got off the camera.
What does that get you?
Yes, very literally. It'd be ideal to have both, but if you had to pick and choose, I'd rather have a conservative.
Yeah, I got you.
Action.
President Trump is a New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
And a New York business mogul.
Yeah.
And now he can conduct an orchestra like nobody.
That's right.
The way he does his hands.
Yes.
Do I have him down?
You got it.
The way yes.
It's beautiful.
All right. All
we
right.
got one good, beautiful segment coming up after this.
Good point, Weston.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
Getting married, starting a family, their eternal values and ideals. These are core values that shaped this country for so long. These are values and ideals that are rooted in Scripture. They're eternal values and ideals.
At the Core with Walker Wildmon and Rick Green, where culture meets biblical truth. Weekdays at 1 Central on AFR. This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. President Trump looking to finalize his planned Gaza peace board with a ceremony in Switzerland this week. Jillian Turner reporting from the State Department.
This peace board is not finalized. It has not convened any meetings yet, but it is already courting some major controversy. President Trump envisioned it as a group of willing nations working together to try and rebuild Gaza in the wake of the war. But its critics are alleging that the real purpose is for the president to gain more power on the world stage by making his own United Nations. The invites, they went out last Friday from Washington to leaders around the world asking them to join. Some of the president's picks seem to be no-brainers: Canada, France, Britain, Saudi Arabia, the European Union, even Australia.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is rejecting assertions that the anti-ICE protesters who stormed a church in his state over the weekend broke the federal law the Justice Department has cited as having potentially been violated. Top DOJ officials say they are looking into whether the agitators who disrupted services at St. Paul's City's Church on Sunday violated the FACE Act and the Ku Klux Klan Act. Family Research Council President Tony Perkins says this behavior started with public schools and universities.
What is taught in the classroom in one generation will become the ruling philosophy of the next generation in government. And that's what we see. This is what has been taught, this anti-Christian, anti-Western values to lead to a place where someone who claims to be a journalist charging into a church, interrupting a Sunday morning worship service. Like, this is something that we cannot tolerate in our country. Protest, yeah, fine. You can go on the street, stand out on the street. But when you're breaking into a church service, interrupting a worship service, we've crossed a new red line. The hostility toward religion in this country has been latent for some time. Now it has become blatant, this hatred toward God.
Today marks 1 year since President Trump's return to the White House with his immigration policy working as he planned. The administration claims more than 2.5 million illegal aliens have left the U.S. over the last year, and that border agents are now on the ground and assisting ICE agents in 27 cities, including Minneapolis. U.S. Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks with a message for illegals in the U.S.
The United States Border Patrol will find you where you're at if you're in this country illegally, effect that arrest, and have you deported back to the country that you came from.
Meanwhile, the Department of Transportation is cracking down on illegal alien truck drivers, making hundreds of arrests. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy criticizing states that issued commercial licenses to illegals.
We're going to get rid of what are these called non-domiciled CDL licenses to make sure you're actually well-trained, you speak the language, and you're entitled to a commercial driver's license.
A conservative activist says President Trump knows what he's doing when it comes to the question of Greenland. Chad Groening has more.
President Trump has made it clear that he wants Greenland to be under the control of the United States. And now he's threatening to impose tariffs beginning next month on goods from 8 European countries, including the United Kingdom, because of their opposition to Trump's goal. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says that President Trump's threat of tariffs against allies over Greenland is completely wrong, and a trade war is in no one's interest. Trump has maintained that U.S. control of the semi-autonomous territory of Denmark is essential for the Golden Dome missile defense system for the U.S. He has also argued that Russia and China might try to take over the island. Gary Bowers, chairman of the Campaign for Working Families.
The president's doing this because he knows what the national security threat to the United States is. If Greenland is not fortified by people like us that can protect it from the Chinese and the Russians.
Bauer says everything that Trump is doing is in general to stop communist China.
So all of this is the most forward-thinking, important effort to secure America, not just for this year and next year, but for the next 50 years. And I just wish people would show a little bit more understanding that the guy knows what he's doing.
I'm Chad Groening.
More news online at afn.net and on the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Wildmon, president of American Family Association and American Family Radio. Hey, the tours we've got planned in 2026 are going to be fantastic. They're historical, spiritual, heritage tours. For the information all about them, the DC, the Williamsburg, the Boston tours, go to wildmongroup.com, WILDMON group.com, and we hope to see you on one of our 2026 spiritual heritage tours.
Today's Issues continues on AFR with your host, Tim Wildmon, president of the American Family Association.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Today's Issues on American Family Radio. We got 24 and a half more minutes of the program today. I'm Tim with Wesley and Ray, and we thank you for listening. And then in studio with us now is Steve Paisley Jordahl.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Steve.
Hey.
Hey, before we get into the news that you're going to present us with, Steve, Wesley, you want to talk about preborn?
Yes, I would. Each year, we have a handful of ministries that we partner with and share our platform because we believe strongly in what they do. And in addition to that, they're doing something a little bit more unique day to day than we are doing. But they're doing Christian ministry. And one of those is preborn. Preborn offers ultrasounds to moms who are considering abortion or are unsure or in shock of what, are surprised that they're pregnant and they're just not knowing exactly what to do. And so preborn offers free ultrasounds, but their ultrasounds that are free are because of listener supporters who donate finances, to donate their money in order to cover the cost for those that are in that situation. And so for your gift of $28 provides one woman seeking an abortion a free ultrasound and giving the mom an opportunity to choose life for her baby, and $140 provides 5 free ultrasound sessions, reaching 5 women with the message of life. And you can call in at 877-616-2396, or you can visit our online at afr.net to donate or financially support the effort of preborn. Most of our audience, if you've been listening to us for any length of time, y'all know that we do this annually. And this is our week where we pause and we emphasize and give a commercial to preborn. And we ask you to go financially support the work that they're doing. They have saved tens of thousands of women's lives. And there's around 10,000 women have made a commitment to Christ, because in addition to providing free ultrasounds, they have a process in which they share the gospel and disciple and minister to them as well. So please go to afr.net. There you can donate, or call in at 877-616-2396, and you can help us partner with preborn in saving the lives of babies, unborn babies.
Yeah, this is Pro-Life Month. January always is. We here at AFA and AFR are pro-life because God is pro-life and the Bible is pro-life. So, Ray, can you document that for me?
How about Psalm 139? Knit together in my mother's womb, fearfully and wonderfully made. That before, David says, before I was born, Lord, when I was in the womb, you put together the parts of my unborn body. You connected them. You made me what I am in my mother's womb. Jeremiah 1:5 says that before I was born, Lord, you called me from the womb. Nothing could be clearer in the Bible that authentic human life begins at the moment of conception. And when we kill preborn babies, we are killing life made in the image of God. So you're entirely right. The Bible is pro-life because God is pro-life.
So the Bible supports biological biology and biology, which we all learned in 7th grade, right?
Right.
That life begins at conception.
Yep.
So you're telling me, Ray, that you believe, or the Bible teaches, you believe what the Bible teaches, that human life given to us by God begins at conception?
No, that's exactly right.
Okay.
It begins at that very moment. And the people who talk about it being just part of the woman's tissue, no. This is from the moment of conception, biologically speaking, that is an independent human life. Yes, it is tiny. Yes, in the beginning it is microscopic. Yes, it depends on the mother for its nourishment during the gestational period. But when you kill an unborn baby, you are taking life made in the image of God. And thank God for preborn and all those wonderful organizations that are doing whatever they need to do to preserve life, protect it, and to help moms make wise decisions to decide on the side of life, not death.
So we're asking you to make a financial donation to preborn of any amount to help them, because when we partner with them here at AFR, and when they reach out and have the young ladies who are pregnant come in and see the baby on the ultrasound, they come in voluntarily and they see the baby on the ultrasound. Most of the time it changes their mind about going through with the abortion, and they decide to give their baby up for adoption, for example. So, Wesley, what's the phone number and website to make a donation? Is there a particular amount we're asking for? How many, or just a donation of any size?
Yeah, well, a couple things. The date started yesterday. So yesterday, January the 19th through January the 30th. January 19th through January the 30th is when we're partnering with Preborn to promote and advertise what they're doing on American Family Radio. And you can call in at 877.
Let me just say one thing.
Sure.
$28 provides one woman seeking an abortion a free ultrasound. So if you want to know, how can I pay? How much does it cost to pay for one free ultrasound that could potentially save the life of an unborn baby? The answer is $28. Okay. So if you want to make a donation of $28 to Preborn, because you heard it here on AFR, Wesley's about to give you the phone number here.
877-616-2396 or visit afr.net.
Get the phone number one more time, please.
877-616-2396.
Or afr.net. afr.net. You can make that donation online for $28. Steve, what do you got going on?
I was just going to say before we get to it, Ray, there is a seat on the Supreme Court for you because one of our justices was kind of confused on the biology thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
So if it was up to me,
that was a Biden appointee. Ketanji
Brown Jackson.
She was the one who famously or infamously said she didn't know what a female was.
Right. Wasn't sure.
She wasn't a
she's not a doctor or a biologist.
Biologist, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just
saying. That's like saying, do you know what a tornado is? No, because I'm not a meteorologist. That's about as stupid as saying that.
It's exactly comparison.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're not doing anything in your spare time, I got a Supreme Court seat for you there, Ray.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. I want to call into question the sincerity of our opponents when it comes to some of this ICE protests. Are they really in favor of or opposed to ICE because of principle? Are they principled on this? I'm going to say maybe not. I'm going to play you a cut. These are just a couple data points from it. This is a podcast, and I got 2 data points that I want to talk about. Let's listen real quick, though, to cut 16.
Obama's ICE chief gets an award for 920,000 removals. Trump's ICE chief is called a Nazi. Obama deported in 2012 409,000 people. Trump in 2025, 290,000
people. So
that's a good reminder. We've covered that occasionally on the program as a reset button, but that's right. That's a good time. I don't know if we can revisit that enough. The fact that President Obama deported more in his term than Trump did his first term.
Well, and his chief of deportation got an award from Obama. He got the 2015 Presidential Rank Award for distinguished service. You know who his director of ICE was?
Who?
Tom Homan.
That's right. I did know that. I forgot about that. That's right.
I wonder if Trump, Trump's he likes celebrities sometimes,
Sure.
right? I wonder if he could recruit, if ICE needs an image remake, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm not saying they do. You could call up Vanilla Ice, and because he does,
but that would be a stunt.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying he's probably looking for work.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's had a hit, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, I don't think Tom Homan
Maybe
and
Vanilla Ice would team up with Lee Greenwood. They could do like a duo.
Yeah, but I think he'd get in the way of Tom Homan.
Huh? I would have my first concert. You know where I'd have
He's
my
all
first
business.
concert?
Where?
If I were Vanilla Ice and I was taking over?
Minneapolis.
Greenland.
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
I would have I would call it World Tour.
Yeah, but
it wouldn't be world. Yeah, U.S. tour.
Yeah, it'd be
World Tour, one night only.
No, I
Greenland,
Minneapolis.
Anyway, all right, go ahead, Steve. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. The same guy.
Yeah, it's Tom
the same
Homan.
guy, Tom Homan, who is being called a Nazi by the demonstrators now because of the deportations, was given an award and was lauded by the left. So I'm kind of calling into question their sincerity.
Yeah, I understand. Well, also, you remember. Well, I won't get into that. Next story. Go ahead. Get into that, and I'll be ranting 7 minutes from now.
We might have the time. Let's try. We've got a storm coming up here this weekend. You guys have been talking about that. Toyota has Germany has demanded and gotten concessions from Toyota that their remote start on their cars is disabled by software. So Toyota went in and disabled the remote start on their cars in Germany because Germany says remote starting your car in the winter when it's cold so you can get warmed up is an unnecessary pollution. It's putting.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you telling me that the Toyota Corporation can remotely shut down everybody's Toyota car?
They can shut down the feature that remote starts it.
Without physically touching it?
Correct.
Like I said, remotely through the internet or something.
Let me read this to you. This is from Yahoo.
Read this from Yahoo News. Okay.
Dead phone batteries during emergencies are dangerous, but frozen windshields on winter mornings, they say. Apparently, that's a luxury German authorities won't let you solve anymore. Your Lexus, Lexus is Toyota.
Okay.
Remote start just got remotely murdered, they say, by regulators who decided warming up your car counts as environmental terrorism. Toyota spokesman Ralph Mueller confirmed the parking preheating feature, previously free via the My Toyota Lexus link, is now deactivated on combustion engine vehicles across Germany. The reason? Legislators consider remote engine warm-up unnecessary running that creates avoidable exhaust pollution.
Yes,
whoever did that is of the devil.
Of the devil.
Of the devil. I said whoever did that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not.
Okay.
Pass that over to my
Well,
boss.
listen, I do know that I think you have to consent to it, but I do know of cars that have
pollution.
Well, yeah, yeah. A few of them do. I'm talking about that do have remote control.
Yeah.
Remote start. Yeah, most
of them do now.
But I didn't know that a company could shut down the automobile. That seems like a violation of privacy.
It is. Well, there is no such thing in many countries these days.
I can understand a law. I wouldn't agree with it, but I could understand a law saying you can't idle your car, warm it up to get ready to go somewhere because of environmental whatever. I don't agree with that at all. But I'm just saying I could see how that might be a law that was passed. But to say that
a company
you have an automobile which you own
that you bought,
paid for, so the company doesn't own it anymore. You own it because you paid them for it.
That's right.
So it's your car, And you're telling me that company still maintains the right to shut your car down?
Yeah, because basically you're renting the ability to remote start your car. Well, I have an app on my phone.
I don't think that would work in America.
Nope.
I have an app on my phone that can control one of my cars.
My wife does too.
And I could lock the doors. In fact, my wife has called me. I can't find my keys. Can you unlock the car? And I'm in Tupelo.
Yes, but that's your car and that's your decision. But if you're telling me that's in the hands of the company
in Germany.
Okay, well let's talk about this in two levels. Technologically, you can see how this would happen because it's an internet connection, correct? So you can see how somebody could get in the middle of that without my permission. That could happen, and in fact, it does. When I used to own a Saab car.
A what?
Saab, S-A-A-B. It's a Swedish sports car, basically, and I loved that car. But every time I took it in to have a tune-up or anything done on it, it cost like thousands of dollars because they had to download the software from Sweden on the internet.
Right.
And
you could take it. A mechanic wouldn't be able to.
Even
without
the mechanic,
that,
could do it, but they'd have to get to Sweden and download it. It took forever, and it was very expensive. But that's the thing is that Saab has control over the updates. And at least in Germany, they have control over your car.
Yeah. All right, next story.
All right. The fraud that's in Minnesota is not being held in Minnesota. I've got a story out of Michigan. This is there's a Nigerian professor there at
Nigerian
Aquinas.
prince.
He's a prince. He's part of Aquinas College, and his name is Nkechi Eza. I'll spell that because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Nkechy, last name Eza, E-Z-E-H.
Yeah.
He is founder and CEO of the Early Learning Neighborhood Collaborative, and he pleaded guilty last week to wire fraud and tax evasion in a scheme that forced the nonprofit to shut down after dozens of years because he was pleaded guilty to stealing $1.4 million from the nonprofit preschool in Grand Rapids. So more fraud.
Well, that's just outright theft and stealing. How is it fraud?
Well, theft is fraud, I suppose, in a way. It's a different legal charge, but yes.
Well, in Minnesota, they stole from the federal government.
Correct.
The federal government gave Minnesota a bunch of our tax money and said, hey, take care of children in your state, teach them to read, write, and arithmetic and daycare and all this stuff, which I don't necessarily agree is the problem of the federal government to take care of people from cradle to grave. But nonetheless, they sent it. And then Minnesota,
Somali.
The Democrats were in cahoots with the Somali and Somalis there who had fake daycares. They didn't really have kids in them. That's what the fraud was all about.
And that's kind of the same thing here. He pleaded guilty to wire fraud and tax evasion because they created nearly $500,000 and $1.4 million in fake invoices.
Okay, there you go.
As
fake
well
invoices,
as they created fake daycare businesses to siphon off hundreds of thousands of dollars.
All right.
So,
when you look at that, when you look at stories like that, you just get exhausted thinking about the hard work that they went through to cheat, and you go just
right.
Give them
8 to 5,
right?
Just get a job.
I know
because of the hours and the time, and then
but he was getting rich. $1.5 million he admitted to, right?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it was very lucrative. He had a good thing going there.
Fake invoices,
just stealing from the government, stealing from the taxpayer. Yeah. Okay, next story.
The Democrats have been in charge of the governor's office and the legislature in Virginia now for a week, and they are ramming through all kinds of changes. One of the changes that they have put in is that they have made hand-counting ballots for elections there illegal. In other words, if you have a close election,
I don't see how you can do that, but anyway.
They passed a law that says you can't. You have to depend on the machine.
Yeah, listen, Virginia had a reprieve there for 4 years with Governor Youngkin and also the lieutenant governor and I think the AG.
Yep.
Republicans. But now
They have.
It's going back blue again.
I have not counted the bullet points, but there's more than 20 new laws, including a new 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million a year. A new personal property tax on landscape equipment. They've banned gas-powered leaf blowers.
Oh yeah, I got to get rid of those.
They have made it illegal to approach anybody in an abortion clinic. They've extended the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day to 3 days now. After Election Day, they have to count the ballots. So there's just a whole raft of things that they're doing. The Democrats are very upset with President Trump at his second term because he came in ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the big, beautiful bill and a whole bunch of other things he had.
Flooded the zone.
He did. He flooded the zone. And the Trump derangement syndrome went wild because he was so quick and effective at doing so many things. Well, this is the shoe on the other foot. Democrats are doing the same thing in Virginia because they now have the power to do it. So, again, I kind of question the consistency there.
I'm still stuck on the gasoline-operated blower.
Yeah.
You're saying if you have a gasoline-operated...
No more gas-powered leaf blowers.
Well,
what are you going to do?
These are bills.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm moving.
Yeah.
These are bills.
Take away my...
Well, like out of all the things that need to be enforced, by the way, we've come so far as a country. We don't even have really, we're not even, from a police and legal standpoint, we're not even, what do you call it, like, we're reacting to things, okay? So out of all as opposed to patrolling. So out of all the things you can react to, we're going to react to a gasoline blower. We're going to write a ticket for it.
How does that saying go? You can have my gasoline-powered leaf blower when you pry it out of my cold dead hands.
They have also introduced a bill to eliminate mandatory minimum sentencing. In other words, judges...
You know what, Steve? We have a lot of listeners in Virginia, and you're only bringing them down.
Sorry.
Okay? They know it's going to be a lefty...
Let me just do
a litany of lefty agenda there on with the new administration.
Do I have time for one more?
Please.
Okay.
I've got one more story, and it's not a very new story.
Imagine this: you're outside and you're blowing off your carport, and you're an average citizen that doesn't keep up with the changing of year to year.
Right.
There's
You
legal
don't keep up with
changes.
politics.
Right.
And the I don't know what's worse.
Sheriff deputy shows up.
He shows up. And he goes, I really don't want to have to do this. Like,
but give me your blower.
But give me your blower.
Is that
put the blower down now? The blower's got to be put the blower down.
Keep your hands where I can see you.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question here. In the name of what would you take away a citizen's right to have a gasoline-operated?
Climate justice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
it's
but you have
climaterism. Is what it is. Climaterism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have cars.
Yeah, but that's different.
Why is that different? We
got to go out.
You have to start somewhere.
You probably have 500,000 cars in Virginia that use gasoline.
But you can't enforce that. You come up and the person with their $100 leaf
so
blower.
What I hear y'all saying
do what you can do.
What I hear y'all saying is that you had no good answer to what I've just asked. Because there is none. And I'm not saying y'all are at fault with your answer. I'm saying you got 500,000, I don't know how many automobiles in Virginia. I'm guessing maybe 500,000 that run on gasoline.
Let me see that story real quick.
And you're telling me they're worried about a blower?
Statewide.
A leaf blower?
Well, you got a point, right?
I mean, it has no effect on the environment. Zero. It may make them feel good, but I don't know.
Yeah, now, this seems to be a statewide.
There are electric blowers you can
ban.
buy.
Oh, yeah.
Statewide ban on what?
Oh, that's what we're talking about, gas-powered leaf blowers.
Of course, the electric power leaf blowers have to get their power from the electric outlet, which gets its power from, coal.
How about this? There's no such thing as global warming. How about that one?
That's right.
And put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm talking about man-made global warming. If there's global warming, it may be out there. It's caused by nature. It's not
There's
caused.
a storm coming, Tim. We should be talking about
this. There's a big yellow thing out in the sun,
make that
in the
Walmart
sky.
run, friend.
The sun is responsible for most of it.
Yeah, we're going to wish we had global warming.
Oh, there's some worse stuff in here. We could have got to that.
On Saturday.
Guaranteed illegal aliens free education.
Yeah.
Do they call them illegal aliens?
Yes.
Free education? Yes. I just think we need to hand out a gas blower to every illegal alien. I think we need to do that in the name of compassion.
That's right.
We'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Wildmon, president of American Family Association and American Family Radio. Hey, we've decided to make our spiritual